Welcome to Experience Oldsmar, a podcast created by and for those who love this special place. I'm your host, Deb Vitrelli, broadcasting from the top of Tampa Bay in beautiful downtown Oldsmar. In tow is our awesome engineer, Mark McGinley. So with spring in the air and everyone loving the outdoors, it seems appropriate we would invite Oldsmar's Leisure Services Director, Chip Potts, to join us today. Chip's background in leisure services dates back to 1986 at the age of 16, when he was a part-time recreation leader for the Baltimore County Department of Recreation and Parks. He graduated from Towson University with a degree in sports management, go Tigers, and received his master's degree in public administration from the University of South Florida, go Bulls. Welcome, Chip.
Well, thank you.
So most of our listeners may not be aware of the process involved when an organization would like to host a special event in partnership with the city of Oldsmar. Can you break down this process for the audience?
I sure can, Deb. Well, it's certainly a process which does take a lot of time. It's not a quick process. And it's okay because there are a lot of things that take place when we're planning special events. So first thing we do is we meet with the proposed event planner to see if it fits with what we vision for Oldsmar. What type of event is it? Where would they propose to hold it? What type of impact will it have on the community? For example, road races with road closures. How many events of a particular type have already been held like this, and would it be a repeat? And what would the impact be to local neighborhoods? What type of resources are requested from the city? What partners do we have to involve? For example, the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department. So once we have that initial meeting with the proposed event planner, we then get into the process of them submitting a special event application, which then details the specifics of their event. So once we receive that, it's reviewed by city departments such as Public Works, Administrative Services, Planning and Redevelopment, Fire Department, Marketing Communications, and then again it goes out to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department for their approval as well. Once all of the departments review and approve, it's signed off by the city manager after he reviews it for his approval, and then the event planner begins their process of actual planning the event now that they know they have the go-ahead. Some organizations host special events as fundraisers, so a lot of times we'll receive a fee waiver request. So what happens there is that once we know that they're doing it for a fundraiser and they submit a fee waiver request, we present that to City Council for their consideration. So like I said, it's a thorough process, which typically starts at least 6 months in advance.
Wow. So how has COVID-19 changed the dynamic of an application?
Well, COVID has certainly changed a lot of the things that we do in leisure services, whether it's park operations or recreational programming or special events. But, COVID's changed the way we handle our events in a lot of ways. When we first started doing our own city events, again, after, as we were making our way through COVID, they were mostly virtual or drive-through to control social distancing and make it safe. As we continued to learn how to manage events with certain COVID protocols in place, we began incorporating smaller family-style events like movies in the park, kite day, sunset sounds concerts with socially distanced spots marked on the ground, signage advising of face mask requirements, and keeping groups to 8 or less people, and of course providing sanitizing and on a greater level in our restrooms. We haven't had many community events. Actually, we haven't had any community events, big or larger scale events with our partner groups since COVID. But we do have 2 on our schedule that are coming up.
Oh, great.
Yep. One is Oldsmar Days and Nights, and the other is Honoring Our Heroes 5K. Both events have been reviewed by city staff and the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office and have been approved. For Honoring Our Heroes, to keep participants safe, the organizers have modified the race so there are no pre-race or post-race activities, which will limit the amount of people just mingling around. And then they also are going to implement staggered starts for the racers so there's not a large group of runners that takes off all at once. All of the runners prior to reaching the starting line have to wear a face mask, which then they can dispose of once they cross the start line. And then, once they come back from the finish line and cross, then they'll have to put their masks back on if they're going to be mingling around after the event and cooling down. So in addition to the protocols that they've implemented, they're planning on limiting the number of runners to 250. And again, social distancing and face masks while not involved in the run.
Is that strictly a 5K run?
It is a 5K.
Okay.
Yes, strictly 5K.
Interesting. And you got Oldsmar Days and Nights, so that's
right
around the corner.
Yeah, that's right around the corner, April 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And this is the first event that we'll be co-hosting on a larger scale, and this will be done in cooperation with the Chamber of Commerce. Again, like you had said, it's a 3-day event, April 23rd, 24th, and 25th. But this event's going to look a little bit different than it did in the past. And I should say it's going to look a lot different than it actually did in the past with the modifications for COVID protocols that are being implemented. So this year, unfortunately, no carnival. Okay. So we'll have a lot more. Yeah, it does make sense, which will provide a lot more space throughout the park. We still will have the parade. They'll have food, vendors, and music. And as I mentioned, with the more open space because of the carnival not being there, that'll give more space for vendors to space out throughout the park back into the area where the carnival used to take place. Another modification is that instead of, with the music being on the stage, instead of having just an open area for people to stand and walk around and listen to the music and have fun, that tables will be placed in the music listening area. Okay. And if you're going to be in that music listening area, which is in front of the stage, you'll have to be seated at a table while listening. All patrons will be required to wear face masks while at the event. The Chamber of Commerce will have staff and volunteers monitoring the site for compliance. This event is limited in capacity. They must have less than 1,000 participants at the event, and they will have an entry and exit with check-in and check-out, counting numbers and making sure that people are following COVID protocols.
And that's through the county too. That
yes,
1,000 count.
Right, that's mandated by the county, and the Chamber's plan was signed off on by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. This is in relation to the County Executive's Order number 21-3 for large-scale special events. So, we met with the Chamber, we met with the Sheriff's Office on 2 different occasions. We've asked them to modify their plan a number of times, and after reviewing the plan the final time, the Sheriff's Office is comfortable with what we're going to attempt to do out there.
I'm sure the Chamber's excited.
Yeah, everybody's excited. We look forward to a great event, and we certainly look forward to the cooperation of our patrons to ensure that we can continue to offer these type of special events in the future for our community.
I think we've been lucky with that. The community's really embraced the, kind of the guidelines, but it's kind of a norm now in life as well.
Right.
So I really need to commend Leisure Services on the great virtual events that were offered to the community last year when COVID hit. And thankfully, Oldsmar is opening back up, and your department has some wonderful events coming up through the month of April. Can you fill us in on those?
Certainly, I can do that. And like you had mentioned, this is just a quick reminder that if you come to our events, all city events have social distancing measures in place for our attendees to follow for not just the public safety, but our staff safety as well. Again, we ask at our events that groups be no larger than 8 people, maintain social distancing while at the event. At our events, we do paint. Most of our events we have are in the park and family events. Like I mentioned, we paint dots on the grass that keep spacing for visual purposes for people. So, we try to keep it as safe as we can. But some of the events we've got coming up here in April are, we've got Saturday, April 10th, which starts this weekend, which is Chalk the Park.
Ooh, what's that?
Chalk the Park's a free family event for all artistic abilities and ages to show off their chalk art skills. We'll provide chalk. We have plenty of sidewalk throughout the park. Families are encouraged to come out, space out, draw your picture on the ground, and enjoy the art.
Are you going to have hopscotch also?
If a family wants to paint hopscotch, we will certainly have enough. Yes. We hope to see some hopscotch taking place. Another event we have on Friday, April 16th is Parents' Night Out from 6 to 11 p.m. at Cypress Forest Recreation Center. This is a night for parents to get out and enjoy themselves, kind of maybe have a date night, maybe get some chores done around the house without the kids following you around. It's $10 with a rec card, $15 without, and the kids will enjoy games and pizza and a movie and just have a blast. Following that night, on the Friday the 16th, we have a big theater production coming into the park. And I say big is because we're just so excited about our theater group and what they've done. The Opal Theater will be performing Beauty and the Beast in Ari Olds Park. Beauty and the Beast Junior. That's right. So this is a kids show. This is all youth in the show. Everybody in the show is under the age of 18, and they've got a great group, and they've done a great job practicing leading up to this performance. And again, this is a free show, family entertainment, and we look forward to great weather and getting a nice crowd out there.
And that's this Saturday coming, or the 17th,
That is Saturday the 17th. Seating begins at 7 and the show begins at 8.
Oh, okay.
We will have food trucks on site, so come on out and enjoy some snacks and a show. And then one of our increasingly growing popular events is the Sunset Sounds concert series. Typically we hold these in the fall, and we hold these in the spring when the weather's nice, and then hopefully it's not raining. We've had some challenges with that, knock on wood. But our next show is on Friday, April the 30th, and that starts at 7, and it goes until 9 p.m., and that's in Orioles Park, and it's a free concert under the stars. And we have free golf cart parking available, bring your own chairs and a blanket. We have food trucks that will be on site, and the next band is going to be the Red Ruckus.
Oh, what are they?
They're kind of more of like a 90s kind of progressive kind of band, not grunge, but 90s type music. So they a lot of our bands we try to play all over the spectrum, different genres. Yeah. And so we're looking forward to this band coming out.
Lovely. Look forward to that. So our listeners who enjoy the Oldsmar Trail for walking or riding their bikes should know about the footbridge closure in the Mobley Bayou Wilderness Preserve. So what days is the closure impacted?
So the city staff in our facilities maintenance division is replacing the decking and the handrails along the 2 bridges in Mobley Bayou Wilderness Preserve. They're making great progress. They've been at it for about a week and a half now. And right now, luckily, what we're doing is we're only closing the trail between 8 and 3 p.m., 8 a.m. and 3 p.m., Monday through Friday. So it'll be open in the afternoons and evenings for people to still exercise, and it'll be open all weekend long for people to enjoy as well.
That's smart. And where is everyone being rerouted to?
They are being rerouted along Country Club and Patty Drive, and then they can access the trail back at either of those north or south points.
Cool. Lovely. Oh, my goodness. All right. It's lightning round time.
Uh-oh.
So, Chip, what is your favorite sports team?
Got to say it's the USF Bulls.
Oh, go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
Nice. So are you an early bird or night owl?
I would have to say I'm more of an early bird. I'm not a 5 or 6 a.m. early bird, but I'd much rather... No. I'd rather be up a little bit earlier than stay up a little bit late.
Okay. And then finally, disco or rock and roll?
Rock and roll.
Oh, why did I not doubt that? Well, cool. So thank you, Chip, for being our guest on our podcast. And special thanks to our awesome engineer, Mark McGinley. Be sure to follow and like the City of Oldsmar on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. To find our list of podcast segments, visit experienceoldsmar.com. I'm your host, Deb Vitrelli. Until next time, I invite you to check out all the great things you can do to truly experience Oldsmar.